again, I have to say, if she was coming to the office on a weekly basis, I don't see any burden in at least speaking to someone else on the board and, you know, bringing her notice or at least mentioning her notice and saying, I have a month before I'm evicted, rather than just sitting on it and letting herself become a delinquent. That is, I don't think that's appropriate for someone who's lived there for 30 years and claims to be so familiar with the regulations surrounding SHA. That being said, we do want to try to handle this as compassionately as possible, but even if we were going to rework the regulations, even one of your suggestions was to rework it based on the severity of the incident. You as a fellow attorney, I'm sure, are aware that you cannot use force that is greater than the force being brought against you to defend yourself. So her claim of defending herself against someone someone spitting on her, while I fully agree that that is a terrible incident, and, you know, who's to say who's going to react in what way when you're put in that sort of situation. That being said, she had scissors in her waistband. So even the question is of premeditation, or, you know, maybe she was going to use those on someone else. The fact of the matter being that that was a crime, that was a violent offense that was not warranted, and it happened on our premises. It happened in front of young children. It happened in front of other families. Very much not to the well-being of the safety or health of the community. I think Ms. Berry, of all people, should be able to recognize that. We do fully appreciate that she has been a reliable tenant for 30 years leading up to this point. That being said, this was a very serious offense, and I don't think that we can glaze over it by saying she was defending herself, which hasn't been proven. She hasn't even gone through her criminal trial. But even, I don't see how a court would find that she was, considering she used a violent, dangerous, possibly deadly weapon against someone who was unarmed. So I haven't really heard anything proffered by you as far as how we could work around this, because Sally's definitely not going to be allowed in this complex. That's just not to the well-being of anyone else in our community. We have 10 buildings with 8 units each. I mean, 80 other families are living here, so I have to look out for their well-being as well. So if we're going to try to move forward, is there any other proposition you might have as far as perhaps, I don't know, I guess I'd just like to hear a more concrete.
So starting out, paying you obviously the rent that you're owed is one thing that we're very on board with. My client